G'day everyone, the Global Surveyor. Gee, I love surveying. I mean, you could be stuck in an office or you could be stuck out here. Currently out at Bilpin, which is on the sort of the edge of the Blue Mountains. It's where they grow a lot of apples and make apple cider and apple pie. And purpose of today's survey is to undertake a boundary marking exercise, and I've actually been here before back in 2015, and I've come back to put a few extra pegs in, so super excited. But I just wanted to show you, this is one of the original pegs from the subdivision that took place back in 1960, and it's quite a large peg. Like, look at my hand, look how big the peg is. It's a big one. It's got a nail, GI nail in the top. So I'll be measuring to that today. And also at this corner was a reference tree. And this old gum here is the reference tree. And I'm not going to actually cut the reference tree open today, but you'll see here the scar that's grown over the survey mark that was just here. So I'm super excited to see that again. And stay tuned for more exciting stuff here at Bilpin. And one of the great things about GPS is that I'll be able to use that for today's survey. There's plenty of sky, plenty of open land, so it should work really well. And the other cool thing is that you get to drive around in four-wheel drive all day. Don't have to worry about walking too far because it's nice and open, and cruisy job. So if you're stuck in the office or you're looking for a career change, consider surveying. But check out the size of this Angophora. Apple gum, Angophora. Holy moly, that's enormous. What an enormous tree. So part of the survey is not only to check a few pegs and put a few extra pegs in, but to locate these new gates that have been put in for a fire trail. Just goes to show you with surveying, we have the tools to map anything, and that means literally map anything. See my car up there? There's a fire trail. Gee, that's a big tree. So I was informed by the owner of the property that a peg that I put back in 2015 had been moved, and I found that really strange to understand why someone would want to move it, but I'm not really sure why. But this peg here, which apparently looks to be in pretty good nick, someone's picked it up and put it, it should be about here where my feet are, about 1 metre away. So I'll give that a bit of a read and see if that's actually true or not. But just remember, if you see a survey peg, it's illegal to remove a survey peg unless there's an absolute need for it. So if in doubt, or if you want to remove a peg, call your local surveyor. They'll help you out. Check out these native flowers. Australian native flowers. It's beautiful. So you can see one of the old pegs that I found here. Right here. There's one of the old pegs I put in. Nail's a bit knackered. I'll fix that up and put in a brand new stake because the stake's gone. There's been a bit of clearing here for a for a fire trail for the RFS so that they can drive around this property and protect it from a bushfire, or as this area has been affected quite a lot over the years by bushfires, it's always good to have access to other parts of the national park next door. New stake, bit of pink ribbon and a bit of coat of yellow paint. I always like to paint the top of my pegs, my stakes, sorry, just with a bit of the paint. Normally I use yellow paint, but I mean, some surveyors don't use paint at all, but I just find that if I can paint the peg and give the stake a bit of paint as well, that helps, because you can run over the peg, but you may not, to avoid running over the stake, make it as bright as possible. And BDY line, BDY abbreviated boundary line. You can see this fire trail that's been built on the edge of this bush. It's amazing, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. And here's a stake that I put in back in 2015. Unfortunately the peg was not found, but still a stake there. Incredible. So you can just see where my car is. There's a corner, boundary corner up there, which is the purpose of me being here, to mark that corner and marks beyond. At this corner, when the original subdivision took place in the 1800s, there was this old stringy bark, and there was a reference tree here. Unfortunately the blaze is gone, but what a whopper. So super stoked to find that. And so because that reference tree's gone, I've got to walk through the scrub here. I've got to be careful, like videoing and making sure I don't fall down a hole. You can see this bracken here. Thankfully it's not too high, but when you walk through bracken, you've got to be pretty careful, because you might fall down a hole, or you might fall off a little rocky cliff. There's no cliffs here, but like a rock ledge or something. So be really careful. And it starts to get steep just here. I'm going to have to stop filming for a second. So you can probably see what I mean. I've just come up from down here, and there are these tiny little rocks here. It just drops away. You can see, maybe get a better idea there. It just drops away, and you've got to be careful. Look, there's more rocks here. So, what a great place to work, eh? So, I'm walking down here because I'm told that there's a rock mark here. Well, so my data says. My survey plans say there's a rock mark, and hopefully I can find it. Check out the size of this old Angophora, and beautiful bush. And I was looking for a rock mark which I couldn't find. There's lots of little boulder type rocks here, but I found this old rock mark from the 1800s, so I'm super stoked. I'm going to show it to you now. Now it's going to be very hard to see, but in a moment I'm going to give it a coat of yellow paint and you'll understand where I'm coming from. But what have we got? I've got this drill hole here. I've got the line of the boundary. Actually, the boundary does a right angle here. And because, see, it's on this curved rock here, it would have been quite hard to chisel. So we've got a drill hole, and as you watch, you'll find it a bit easier to understand. We've got this boundary line coming here and a boundary line coming there. Then we've got the broad arrow, which is here, oops, there, and here, and here. Government mark, broad arrow, and portion 10, 1, 0. So I'll give that a coat of paint now, and stay tuned. So there we have it, painted up, which will last quite some time, and that's super, super exciting. And that's placed a really, really long time ago. So again, doing what I love, surveying and finding old survey marks. So I'll give that a read now with my trusty Leica GS18, and then I'll head back up the hill. So thanks so much for watching, everyone, today. Hope you had a great